We then talked to Denise about her child's program. What does Alexis do at school? Tell me what she's learning in school and what kind of setting is she in and the people who teach her in school.
She has two teachers that are absolutely the best, her head teacher and the teacher's aide, and we correspond through a notebook daily. She's learning a lot of things which I didn't even know until I went to the parent-teacher conference that she's doing, such as learning the months of the calendar, the days of the week. And what's the days of the week? Sunday. She's learning the other students' names. She knows her first and last name. Like I said, a lot of outside play, you know, doing a lot in gym. She's doing, she takes physical and occupational therapy, which she's doing extremely well from what the teachers say. As far as like her eating, I think it's called the PICS or something, you know, anyway, she, like if it's chicken, they'll ask her, what do you want? She's more vocal now, but she'll pick the chicken. For, you know, if it's a selection of 3, she'll pick the chicken and the potatoes and the corn, you know, but she's able to say those things now, so, and she's learning some sign language. She's teaching us a little sign language, you know, but she's doing good. And here's what Marianne told us about Matthew's program. Tell me what he does during the day. What is he? Does he have a job?
Right now, he's a student at Wildwood School. He will graduate in 3 weeks. So he spends his days in a school program that at this point is largely focused on transitioning him to what his adult world will look like beginning in July. That program has focused in the past couple of years on helping him explore whether he has vocational skills or the capacity to move towards employment. And we've really been able to define that, you know, he has strengths in computer skills and data entry skills. He has strengths in repetitive kind of clerical tasks, tri-folding envelopes, stuffing envelopes, running things through meters. Activities that are routine, predictable, that don't involve the need to socially engage or interact with other human beings, where he can kind of know what his task is and not have it change. We're going to really be starting from a very individualized perspective because he needs to experience that school is over and that he's now an adult. And he does not, as far as we can tell, have the ability to understand that concept without experiencing a change in his routine and a change in the flavor of his program. And that's really our challenge, to come out strong with that in July so that it's a positive thing for him and he's open to that rather than locking down because he's had a bad experience and then perpetuating some of the challenging behaviors that we've been dealing with.
Sounds like a scary time.
It is a very scary time. It's a very scary time.
The Commission and the New York State Bar Association are very involved in promoting the legal rights of persons with disabilities. I asked Bridget Burke, our legal expert, about important laws which affect persons with autism. Here is what she said.
The American with Disabilities Act and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act would both say that an individual with autism or other type of disability should have the right to an equal benefit to whatever service is being provided or any kind of public setting. And the times where there might be a defense to that might be in a religious institution, but it also might be in a situation where in order to accommodate the individual with autism, they'd have to fundamentally alter the nature of their program. So oftentimes I find that those cases are really best resolved by going to whoever's running the institution and talk about, or the location, and talk about, this is the needs of the individual, what's the nature of your program, how can we match it so that the person can fully participate. One of the things for the YMCA, which is a large organization, they wouldn't really probably have to fundamentally alter their program in order to include the child with autism because they have other resources and things like that. If the child with autism needed an aid, for example, it might be necessary for the YMCA to provide an aid. But if we're talking about maybe an after-school program in a really small organization where there isn't a large budget, they might say that providing the aid would fundamentally alter the nature of their program. It would be too expensive. And so the parent might not, even though they should be accommodated, might not have access to the aid in order to be accommodated.
We've seen that these children can cope somewhat with their autism. But what about beyond childhood, when these young people become adults? What does the future hold for children with autism, such as Alexis and Matthew?
What do you envision she's going to be like in 5 years from now?
Honestly, I just hope she just continues to progress. My only thing is, with the autism, I can deal with her delays, but as far as my personal feeling, I just want her to speak. That's my biggest thing. I was the one that initiated, she used to just say juice, cheese, milk. And I would say, it's a small sentence, but it's a sentence. I want juice, please, thank you, but I just, that's my biggest thing. I just want her to speak, but I can deal with the delays, but again, she still has a long way to go, but I really feel she's come a long way.
What are your aspirations for Matthew?
I would love for Matthew to continue to grow. I want him to be stimulated in his day. I don't want him just in a caregiving situation. I want him in an environment where he's actively engaged in activities that are meaningful for him. I would love to see him, if he's capable of it, to move towards some kind of an employment situation where he can feel that there's value in what he is doing and giving to something, to some task.
We hope today's show has provided you with a basic understanding of autism, its impact on persons, and its impact on families. As we have just heard, there are an increasing number of children being diagnosed with autism. As we encounter persons with autism in our everyday lives, hopefully the stories and information provided in this show will assist all of us in meeting the challenges that autism presents. Thank you for watching Disability and the Law.